Today's episode of Variant is brought to you by Jack of All Trades Clothing.
Today on Variant, it's Hulk vs. Hulkbuster Iron Man. Welcome to Variant. We love comics more than the feeling of getting a popcorn kernel out of your teeth that's been stuck there for hours. I'm your host, Arris. Avengers Age of Ultron is just around the corner, and one of the most anticipated things about the movie is the Hulk fighting Iron Man in his Hulkbuster armor. With that said, I wanted to do a Versus episode highlighting what could possibly be the best fight in the Marvel Cinematic Universe to date. Hulk against Hulkbuster Iron Man. So I'm going to lay down the facts and tell you guys who I think would win this fight. Before I get into it, I just want to say, yes, I know this fight has happened in the comics on more than one occasion, like in Iron Man 305, where the fight was just a draw due to them reconciling halfway through the fight, or even when they fought in the World War Hulk storyline. But this time, the Hulk won. Now, even though the fight has been done in the comics, as I just said, meaning we technically have our answer on how this fight would turn out, it's still fun to talk about either way. Plus, as most of you know, my Versus episodes aren't just purely about the fight. I also give a quick crash course of each character's origin, which I'm sure you guys don't mind hearing since we're so close to the new Avengers movie. That is, if you are watching this before or during the time of the movie's actual release date. Anyway, let's start with the Hulk's origin. The Hulk was first introduced to us in May of 1962 in The Incredible Hulk issue 1, written by two comic book legends, Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Stan Lee's influence for the creation of the Hulk was a mixture between Frankenstein and Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. In an interview, Stan Lee said he wanted to create a lovable monster where he was just misunderstood, which is where the Frankenstein influence came in. But he also wanted to keep in line with the superhero formula, where he had a double identity, and he always loved Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, so he made the Hulk, which as we all know is a man that turns into a monster. But how did he become the Hulk, you ask? Well, it's funny you mention it, because I'm about to tell you. In The Incredible Hulk issue 1, Bruce Banner was testing a gamma bomb he made for the military base that he worked at, which was under the command of General Thunderbolt Ross, who is the father of Betty Ross, who as we all know becomes the love interest for the Hulk. During the countdown, Banner spots a teenager named Rick Jones who snuck into the testing area. Banner tells his assistant Igor to pause the countdown while he goes and saves the boy. Igor doesn't, being that he doesn't like Banner. So boom, gamma radiation explodes all around and onto Dr. Banner. Later, Banner starts feeling sick, which would eventually lead to him transforming into the Hulk for the first time. Now that's how the Hulk became the Hulk, but let's talk about Iron Man. He first appeared in Tales of Suspense issue 39 in March of 1963. As for how Tony became Iron Man, he was testing new technology for the military when he was injured by his own landmine that lodged shrapnel near his heart. Tony was then captured by a local warlord named Wong Chu, who worked for the Mandarin, who forced him under the threat of death to create a doomsday weapon for him with another captive, the famed Nobel Award-winning physicist Yin Sen. The shrapnel was going to enter his heart and kill him, but he and the physicist created an arc reactor, which is that glowing mechanism in the center of his chest, which keeps the shrapnel away from his heart, keeping Stark alive. In secret, Stark and Yin Sen designed and constructed a suit of powered armor called the Mark I, which Stark uses to escape. But during the escape attempt, Yin Sen sacrifices his life to save Stark's by distracting the enemy as Stark recharges. Stark takes revenge on his kidnappers, and just like that, Iron Man was born. That's my brief retelling of both characters' origins, but now we have to see what these characters bring to the fight powers-wise, starting with Iron Man. Now we all know Iron Man has a lot of different armors, but I'm going to solely be focusing on the Hulkbuster armor for this fight, since we all know this is the armor that Tony uses to fight the Hulk. There has been several different versions of the Hulkbuster armor over the years, but the one thing that always stays the same is the fact that it's made to handle hits from arguably one of the strongest heroes in the entire Marvel universe, the Hulk. But even more so than being able to take hits from the Hulk, it's made to take down the Hulk. The Hulkbuster armor was designed for maximum strength and durability at the cost of reduced mobility, presumed to be a mix between the original Crimson Dynamo armor specifications and the Iron Man suit. The first incarnations was used as a modular unit for his standard armor connecting itself within the Hulkbuster. And its capabilities are as follows: superhuman strength, which is a given as it's called the Hulkbuster armor. Enhanced durability, it can take lasers, missiles, and anti-aircraft weapon hits with absolutely no effect on it. The armor can also withstand a pounding from an angry Hulk with minimal damage. It is a strong possibility that it can even withstand the temperature of the sun. Flight, it can hover and fly with the use of jet thrusters in the boots and a jetpack on his backside. Repulsor gauntlets, energy absorption, he can directly absorb energy through his repulsor ports. Secondary propulsion, the armor has propulsion jets inside the repulsor palms to use in flight. A force field which can form around itself and others. The Hulkbuster armor has the strongest shields out of all the Iron Man armors, and it also has an advanced unibeam. Then you have rocket launchers in the waist and shoulder-mounted Gatling laser blasters, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. And we also can't forget that Tony Stark is extremely smart, and intelligence always plays a factor. Moving on, we have the Incredible Hulk. He can lift approximately 100 tons when calm, and the madder he gets, the stronger he gets. So at times of high stress stress and anger and increase in adrenaline causes the Hulk's strength to increase dramatically. There has never been a limit shown to the highest strength level the Hulk can reach, so it's assumed it's limitless, which is also assumed for the rest of the Hulk's abilities, not just his strength. So if pushed far enough, the extent of his strength and other abilities could be limitless. The Hulk has shown many incredible feats over the years, including holding up a 150 billion ton mountain during the Secret Wars, and breaking open Onslaught's armor when the combined might of the rest of the world's heroes couldn't even scratch it. The Hulk can also slam his hands together to create a large thunderclap type concussive force. He has used this for various reasons, including creating a concussive blast to hurt enemies, blow away gases and put out fires, or even to deafen people. His leg muscles are so strong that he can travel miles in a single casual jump. He has been known to make it into the Earth's atmosphere on a single leap. And a big key factor here is the Hulk probably has the quickest healing factor out of anyone in the Marvel Universe, including Wolverine. Wounds that would normally be deadly to most other heroes take just a short time for the Hulk to recover. During a battle with Vector, he repelled all of the skin off the Hulk, leaving him just exposed flesh and muscle. It took the Hulk only seconds to regain the mass and be completely healed. Hulk has been seen on the ocean floor a number of times and is able to breathe due to his body developing a gland which allows him to. He can also resist mind control. Basically, the Hulk is pretty much invulnerable to everything because of his sheer strength and his extreme healing factor. Now, those are the stats for the Hulkbuster armor and the Hulk. So who do I think would win? I'm gonna give this one to the Hulk. Sure, Iron Man is a genius, which is a plus, and the Hulkbuster armor would make a match for anyone, but the Hulk is quite simply, like his tagline says, the strongest there is. And besides Hulk's sheer strength, his healing factor is incredible. Plus, we even saw the Hulk destroy Iron Man and his Hulkbuster armor in the World War Hulk storyline. To which some of you are like, well, if you know he won in the comics, why would you even make this video? Because even though he won in the comics doesn't mean a writer can't write a new story with the two of them fighting again and make it to where Iron Man destroys the Hulk because of some new technology within Iron Man's armor. Bottom line, it's all up to the writers who wins, but it's still fun to discuss and talk about, hence me making this video. But yes, that's just my opinion. Now it's time for you guys to go to our variant Facebook page and vote on who you think would win, the Hulk or Hulkbuster Iron Man. And I'll announce who you decide the winner is at the end of next week's episode, as well as putting it in the description. People are always asking me where I get my comic book t-shirts from, like this one for instance, and the answer to that is the cool people at Jack of All Trades. Their team is always thinking outside the box, bringing new designs and limited runs. Jack of All Trades prides themselves on what they do by creating the very best in licensed apparel from the world of comics and pop culture. They're also quite comfortable, might I add. Jack of All Trades is made up of an awesome team who love what they do. Also, a portion of all online sales go to the Montreal Children's Hospital and the Children's Wish Foundation, because like us, they believe in giving back. Check out Jack of All Trades by clicking the link in the description below. Then enter your email address on their landing page in the next 48 hours for a 1 in 10 chance to win a Jack t-shirt or one of 2 gift cards valued at $50 and $100. So that right there is a bunch of reasons to make yourself less naked with Jack of All Trades. First up for Wednesday, April 15th, we have Princess Leia Issue 3. Leia's mission leads to the underground world of Sullust. Next, we have Convergence Catwoman Issue 1. Putting it simply, Catwoman fights Kingdom Come Batman. That should make any Batman fan curious. Here we have Convergence Shadow of the Bat Issue 1. Fresh out of recovery from a broken back, Bruce Wayne infiltrates the organized crime underworld. But more importantly to me, Azrael shows up. And finally, we have Convergence Issue 2. As Telos, the planet incarnate, easily defeats the survivors of Earth 2, Thomas Wayne and Dick Grayson set off to find help from pre-Flashpoint Gotham City. Well, that brings yet another episode of Variant to a close, but remember, you can always like our Variant Facebook page to keep up with the show and all things comic related. You can also follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/Arris_Quinones, but I will see your lovely faces next week when I talk about all things comics.
I think the Hulk would beat Hulkbuster Hulk because Hulkbuster Hulk is made out of metal and the Hulk could just go through him like that.
Hey Arris, I'd have to say the Hulk would beat the Hulkbuster armor, basically because no matter what Iron Man does, Hulk is just gonna heal, get angrier, and get stronger.